See, today we are going to perform the practical in which we are going to do the analysis of truss. So all of you know what is truss, right? So can you tell me what is truss? Can you tell me what is truss? Anybody? Can you tell me what is truss? Am I audible to everyone? What is truss? Let me know. Because we are supposed to do the analysis of the truss, right? So before we move to analysis, you should know what is truss. So just let me know what is truss, all of you. See, the truss is basically, truss is a structure, right? Which is loaded horizontally or vertically, right? So truss is basically the structure that is a combination of elements which you're going to load either in a horizontal direction or in a vertical direction. So just see this truss which has been given. Okay. So for this truss, we have three members. Let's consider this as one member, right? This as one member and this as one member, right? So you have three members, right? In addition to that, they have mentioned the cross-sectional area of every member. That is 2000 mm square, right? This is again 2000 mm square, right? Then this is 1500 mm square. Right? And at this particular point, they have applied some load. Okay, that is 150 kilonewton. Right? Now we are interested to do the analysis of this particular truss. Right? We are supposed to do the analysis of this truss. Right? So as you know, okay, so very basic step in FEA is the discretization. Okay, we are supposed to discretize this entire structure into nodes and elements, right? We need to discretize it in terms of nodes and elements, right? So see what I will do. Okay, so if you see a member, each member it's an element. Each member is an element. So this member I will call as element number 1. This member I will call it as element number 2, and this member I will call it as element number 3, right? Next, once I assigned the numbers to the elements, I need to assign the numbers to the nodes. Okay, so node is basically the points where elements are connected, right? So if you can see this point, these two elements, that is element number 1 and 3, are connected to fixed support. So I'll call this as node number 1. If you see this point where element number 1 and 2 are connected, I will call this as node number 2. And if you can see this point where node number 2 and node number 3 are connected to roller support, I'll call this as point number 3. Right? So now what you have done, initially you have formed the elements, right? You have numbered the nodes. So next step will be to assign the coordinates to every node. Okay, we are supposed to assign the coordinates to every node, because these coordinates will be very useful when you form the nodes, right? So what we'll do, for a reference, we need to assume any one of the node as a reference node, right? So we'll assume the node 1 as a reference node by putting its coordinate at 0, 0. Okay. Now I need to assign the coordinates to node number 2. So node number location of node 2, I need to measure with respect to node 1. because node 1 is a reference node. Okay, so what is the coordinate of node 2? Okay, it is this 400 and this 400, right? Horizontal is 400 and vertical is 400. So it's 400, 400. Now I need to locate the coordinate of node 3. Okay, so that is this 800 and 0. Obviously, I will measure the location of node 2 and location of node 3 with respect to node 1, which is basically the reference node, right? Which is basically the reference node. So is it understood, all of you? How I assign the elements, how I assign the numbers to the nodes, and how I assign the coordinates to every node? Is it understood? Is it understood or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, this is enough. This is enough to solve the problem in ANSYS. Okay. What you required? You required elements, you required nodes, and you required coordinates to every node. Okay. Is it okay? You required elements, you required nodes, and you required the coordinates of every node, right? So that you can solve this problem in ANSYS. Okay. Now let's start with the ANSYS. Okay, we'll go to start and we'll open this mechanical APL launcher 16.2, right? Okay, so you'll just see this window, right? So what we'll do is, okay, so see this license simulation environment, it's ANSYS, right? Then we have this license teaching advanced, right? The working directory where we are going to save this work, right? So I'll select this, okay, folder where I want to save this work. Okay, this is my 5th practical, so I'll save in a folder number 5. Okay, and this name of the practical is analysis of truss, right? Analysis of truss. Okay, so now I will just click on run. I'll just click on run. Okay, so all of you can see this window, right? You can see this window. Can you see this window, all of you? Do this window is visible? Right? Do this window is visible to each of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? Now all of you tell me how to start. Let me know how to start.
Friends.
Right. We need to go for a preferences, right? Before that, let me make this background to be white. So I'll go to style. I'll go to color. Then I will click on this reverse video. Right. So I'll get this background white, right? So in between, just keep on clicking this save DB. Okay. This option you need to click, right? So see, obviously I need to start with the preferences. I'll go to preferences. Okay. Here I will select the field, right? So this is basically the structural problem, right? Because you have forces, placement, right? You have reaction, right? So I'll select the structural field. Okay. So I'll say okay, right? So next step will be the pre-processor. Next step will be the pre-processor, right? Pre-processor, basically we are going to set the problem, right? Whatever the given data we have, that we are going to include in the pre-processor, right? So we are just modeling the problem or setting the problem, right? So I'll go to first option, element type. See, this is very important. Okay, see, until and unless you select the element, okay, you can't enter the properties for that particular element. That is very important, right? So it's very important to select the element. And you can add the property. So I'll go to right, add. Then I will select this link, right? 3D finite STN 180. I will select this link. 3D finite STN 180, right? And I will say okay. Okay. So this is the element which I've selected, that is link 180. Link 180, which I will use for element number 1, 2, and 3, right? So I'll say close. See this diagram. See this link 180, I will use it for element number 1, element number 2, element number 3, because all basically, right? Okay, so I will use 180 element for element number 1, element number 2, and element number 3. Right? Okay, now come back to the screen. So now I'll minimize this option of element type. Right? Now I have to real constants, right? So purpose of the to enter the cross-sectional area. Now see, if you can see this element number 1, its cross-section is 1000 mm square. If you go for element number 2, 2000 mm square. So there is no need to create two different sets for this area, right? Is it okay? Create two different sets for same area. So what I will do, is so see this one. I'll go to real constant. I will go to add, edit, or delete. Right? I'll go to add, edit, or delete. Right? Then I will click on this add. I'll just click on this add. Right? Then I'll just say okay. See, when I selected add, right? I need to go through this element type. So I'll go through this element, that is link 180. I will say okay, right? So now see, I need to enter, or I need to create first set. Okay, cross section area was 2000 mm square, right? 2000 mm square. So that 2000 mm square I need to convert into meter square, right? So that 2000 into 10 raised to power minus 6, right? So that I will enter as 2000 E minus 6. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? 2000 E minus 6. Is it okay? Let me know. Is it okay or not? 2000 mm square. I need to convert that into meter square. So that is 2000 into 10 raised to power minus 6. Is it okay with this one?
Yes,
Let
sir.
me know, all of
Yes,
you,
sir.
right? So I'll
Yes,
enter this in a meter square. That is 2000 E minus 6. Right? Now see, I will click on apply. I will click on apply because I need to create one more set. I need to create one more set for link 180 only. Is it okay? I need to create one more set for link 180 only. So I will click on apply, right? I will click on apply. Okay. Now here I will select set number 2. Here I will select set number 2. And my area was 1500, right? 1500 mm square. So this is 1500 into 10 raised to power minus 6. That is 1500 E minus 6. That is the second set which I'm creating, right? Second set I'm creating. So I will say okay, because further I doesn't need to create sets, right? So I'll say okay, right? So see, if you go for set number 1, it is 2000 mm square, and the set number 2, it is 1500 mm square, right? Is it okay or not? Okay, so I'll just close it. I'll just close it because it is finished with this real constant. Okay, so I'll minimize the option of real constant, right? Now see, next thing, which I need to do is see, you can see this. I need to go for material properties. Okay. So if you can see this E, it is nothing but a material property. E is nothing but a material property, right? Modulus of elasticity, that is 200 gigapascal. So that I supposed to enter, right? So I'll go to material props, right? I'll go to material models, right? See, I have only one material. So this is material model number 1. Okay. So we are doing the structural analysis where we have linear behavior, elastic behavior, right? And we have isotropic material, right? So structural, linear, elastic, and isotropic. I have the value of E as 200 gigapascal. So I'll put it as E as 200 E9, right? 200 E9. And Poisson ratio, it's 0.3. Poisson ratio is 0.3, right? So I'll click on OK. I'll just click on OK. Is it okay? So this I finished with entering the value of modeling. We require initially to create the nodes. We need to create the nodes. Once we have created the nodes, okay, we need to join those nodes with the help of elements, right? We need to join those nodes with the help of elements. Now see, for node number 1, what is the coordinate? I'll go to nodes. Okay, I need to create those in active CS. I need to create those in active CS. So for node number 1, right? Your X is 0, your Y is 0, and your Z is 0. Okay, your Z is 0. So I'll click on apply, right? Now I will go to node number 2. I'll go to node number 2. Okay, X is 400, Y is again 400, but we want that in a meter. Okay, we want that in a meter, right? So it is 0.4, just see here, and this is 0.4. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. It is in meter. Let me know. Is it in meter? Is it okay? Let me know. Is it okay to everyone? For node number 2, right? So now I will click on apply. Now I'll go to node number 3, right? Where I have X coordinate as 800. So this is 0.8, right? And Y coordinate as 0, and Z is also 0. So this is node number 3, right? So I'll say okay, right? So node number 1 is going to appear at the intersection of X, Y, Z axis. Node number 2 is going to appear here, and node number 3 is going to appear here. See, node number 1 at 0, 0, node number 2 at a 400, 400, and node number 3 at 800, 0, right? Yes or no? Let me know. Is it okay with this diagram? Is it okay with this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Right? So see, let me know, is there anything that we have not yet entered? Is there anything that we have yet not entered? Yes, yes. Right. One of you told me that, see, this year it is not entered, right? We haven't entered roller, right? Similarly, can you see at node number 1, we have not entered this fixed support, right? Similarly, we have not entered this load, right? We have not entered this load. So see, all of you, this is fixed, this is roller. So this is nothing but a boundary condition. So until and unless you apply these boundary condition, you don't apply the force. You don't apply the force. So first you make it fixed at node number 1, then you provide the roller support at node number 3, and then you apply the force. Is it okay? But see, before that again, have you created the elements? Have you created the elements? All of you, have you created the elements? Have you created the elements? See, we haven't yet created the elements. So we need to create those elements. Now see, I'm creating the elements now. Elements, okay. So before connecting the elements, I should know the properties, right? Or I need to check the properties. Okay, so I'll go to element attributes. Now I'm interested to connect element number 1. Okay, let me come back here. Let me come back here. See, I want this element 1 to be connected. Okay, so this is its area. Cross section area is 2000 mm square. That means its set number is 1, right? That means its set number is 1. Okay, this E it is same for all elements. E is same for all elements. So there is no problem. So the question will be in terms of cross sectional area. So if you have cross sectional area as 2000 mm square, you need to go for set number 1. Okay. And if you have the cross section area 1500 mm square, you need to go for set number 2. Okay. So let's come back here. Element attributes. Link is 180 only for all the 3 elements. Material number is 1 only for all the 3 elements, right? So real constant set number is 1. Real constant set number is 1 for element number 1 and 2. For element number 1 and 2. Because for element number 1 and 2, you have cross-section area as 2000 mm square, which we have entered in set number 1. Which we have entered in set number 1, right? So I'll say okay. So I'll go to auto numbered. I will go to through node. Okay. I'll take this node number 1. So you can see here, node number 1 is selected. Node number 1 is selected. Now I'll select node number 2. Now here you can see the node number 2 is selected. And how many total nodes are selected? 2 nodes are selected. You can see here. Total 2 nodes are selected, right? So I'll say okay. I'll say okay, right? So this element number 2, sorry, element number 1 is connected. Now I need to go for element number 2. Check its property. For element number 2, the properties of element number 2 are same as element number 1. You can check. Its cross-section area is same as element number 1. Its E is again same because E is same for entire problem. Okay, as well as element that is link 180 is again same. Okay, so I'll just come back here, go to auto numbered. Okay, now I doesn't need to change anything for element number 2 because properties of element number 2 are same as properties of element number 1. So there is no need to go for element attributes. So I'll go to through nodes. Okay, now I need to connect element number 2. I need to connect element number 2, which is basically between node 2 and 3, right? So I'll select node number 2. I'll select node number 3, right? So you can see here, total 2 nodes are selected. That is count is 2. I'll say okay, right? So your element number 2 is again connected, right? Now we need to go for element number 3. Here you have different cross-section area. That is 1500 mm square. That means we need to refer set number 2. Okay. So that we need to change. Now see, here if you connect the elements, see here, if you select this through node, and if you connect these 2 nodes, so obviously it will create an element, but it will create the elements with the properties same as element number 1 and element number 2, which we don't want, right? So I'm not going to connect like that. So I'll go to initially element attributes, right? So see, link is 180 only, material is 1 only. Now here I need to change it. Here I need to change the real constant set number 2. Okay. So I'll say okay. Right. Now I have set the properties. Now I will connect. So I'll connect on through nodes. I'll select this node. So node number 1 is selected. I will select this node. So node number 3 is selected. Total 2 nodes are selected. Right. So I will say okay. Right. So this element, now all the elements are connected. Right. See, this is element number 1. This is element number 2. And this is element number 3. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you? Let me know. Is it okay to each of you?
Yes.
Okay to each of you? Okay. Now see, I have
Yes.
finished with this creation. I have finished with the creation of elements and nodes, right? So I'll just minimize it, right? I'll just minimize it. Now see, if you have wrongly form any elements or nodes, okay, you can just go to this delete. You can just go to delete, right? You can go to delete. If you want to delete the nodes, just click on nodes. Whatever the nodes that you want to delete, you can delete that. Okay, you can select that and you can say okay. So that node will be deleted. Okay, now see here, if you can see here, initially you have nodes and on that nodes you have elements. Okay, and on that nodes you have elements. So if you want to delete the nodes, initially you need to delete the nodes. You see, if you want to delete the nodes, initially you need to delete the elements which are lying on that particular node, right? Is it okay or not? Because on the nodes you have elements. So before you need to delete the elements, and after that you need to delete the nodes. Okay, is it okay or not? Similarly, you can delete the elements here. You can just pick the elements and you can delete that, right? So this is the option, right? Understood? So let's see whether we have formed correctly the nodes and elements or not. For that, we need to go for list. We just go to nodes. Okay, we'll go to list and then I've selected nodes. I'll just say okay. Okay, so these are the coordinates of node which I'm getting. Okay, just all of you clearly see the coordinates of node 1. So these are the coordinates of node 1, right? These are the coordinates of node 2, right? And these are the coordinates of node 3. These are the coordinates of node 3. Is it okay? So it looks to be okay with the coordinates of nodes. So I'll just close it. Similarly, we can see whether we can form or whether we have formed the elements correctly or not, right? We will go to list, elements, and then we will go to nodes, attributes, and real constant. So here you can see, can you see this element number 1, right? This is element number 1, this is element number 2, this is element number 3. For all elements, material is same, that is material is 1, 1, and 1, right? For all the elements, okay, see here, type is same, that is link 180, that is, see, here it is type is 1, that means it is link 180, here it is again link 180, here is again link 180, right? Now come to real constant. Real constant, it is related with cross-sectional area. So cross-sectional area is same for element number 1 and 2. You can see here, here it is coming 1, 1, 1, 1. That means set number 1, set number 1. See, what is the meaning of 1, 1? 1, 1 is set number 1. And what is the meaning of set number 1? Cross-sectional area is 2000 mm square, right? And if you go for element number 3, here you have 2. That means set 2, set 2. That is the meaning of this 2. That is set 2, right? What is set 2? Cross-section area is 1500 mm square. Is it okay? Now if you can see this element number 1, it is between 1, 2, right? Element number 1, it is between 1, 2. See here, 1 and 2. Element number 2 between 2, 3, and element number 3 between 1, 3, right? So it seems okay. So there is no any problem. Right? Now, what is the next step? Tell me, all of you. Again, we will come back to the diagram and let me know, is there anything missing? Let me know, is there anything missing?
Yes.
Tell me, what is missing then? What is missing? Tell me. Can you tell me what is missing? See all of you, what is missing is this boundary conditions and this load, right? So if you can see this boundary condition, that is node number 1. So node number is fixed. That means what? That node cannot move in any direction. That means it is fixed, right? This node number 1 is fixed. Okay, so that this node cannot move in any direction. That means displacement at that particular node, that is node number 1, is 0. Displacement at node 1 in every direction is 0 because it is fixed, right? Now just come back to node number 2. Okay, node number 2, it's a free node. So okay, so there is nothing with the boundary condition. So go to node number 3, all of you go to node number 3. See, what is the meaning of roller? Tell me, what is the meaning of roller? What is the meaning of roller? Can anybody tell what is the meaning of roller?
1 degree of freedom.
Right. See, the roller will have only 1 degree of freedom. See this roller, okay, it can move only in horizontal direction. Okay, like this. It can't move in vertical direction, right? So its degree of freedom in vertical direction, it is constrained to 0 value. See here. Okay, this roller can't move in vertical direction like this. So its degree of freedom is constrained to value 0 in vertical direction, right? So that we are supposed to enter here, right? So I'll go to here. See, so where we used to do that? Tell me, where we are setting the boundary conditions and applying the loads. Tell me, where we are doing that? Where we are doing that? Let me know where we are doing that.
Load, sir.
Right, we need to go for loads. Right, I'll go to this loads. Okay, we need to define it, right? We need to go to define loads. Okay, we need to apply it, right? I'll go to apply. Okay, then see here. We need to apply basically the structural force, right? Structural force. So before applying the force, we need to apply the boundary conditions. And boundary conditions are given in terms of displacement, right? So I'll go to displacement. Okay. So if you can see at this node, displacement is 0, right? Displacement is 0. So I will go to nodes. I will go to on nodes. I will select this node. I'll just say okay, right? And this node, it is fixed. That means it can't move in any direction. Okay. So what I done here is I will selected. See what it is. Degree of freedom to be constrained. So it is fixed. That means all degrees of freedoms are constrained, right? All degrees of freedoms are constrained. And to what value they have constrained? They are constrained to 0 value, right? They are constrained to 0 value, right? So I'll just say apply. I will say apply because I need to apply one more boundary condition, right? So I will say apply. So I have applied, right? So when I say apply, you can see this horizontal and vertical triangle which is appearing here at the node 1, right? Is it okay? So I need to now apply the boundary condition at node 3. So I will select that node. I just selected that node. I will say okay, right? So as I told you, see here, now this particular node number 3, we need to constrain in vertical direction because it's a roller. So that roller, it can move in X direction. It cannot move in Y direction. That is, it can't move in vertical direction. Okay. So I need to initially deselect this. So I will click it on. So when I click, this becomes deselected. And now I will select UI. So this roller can't move in vertical direction. Okay. That means its displacement value is set to 0. Its displacement value is set to 0. Right? Yes or no? Let me know. Have you understood? Have you understood? See here, what I done, I just clicked here. I selected this UI and I set it to 0, right? I'll say okay, right? So have you understood this one or not? Let me know. Have you understood or not? Let me know. Each of you, have you understood? Let me know. Have you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, now next step will be, okay, to apply the force, right? Next step will be to apply the force. So see, at node 2, 150 kilonewton is applied in downward direction. At node 2, we need to apply this 150 kilonewton in downward direction. So here we doesn't want this in a kilonewton. We want this to be Newton. So we need to multiply this by 10 raised to power 3, right? 10 raised to power 3 we need to multiply. Okay, and as it is in downward direction, we need to take it as negative value, right? So let's see this one, right? So I'll go to force or moment. I'll go to force or moment. I need to apply that on a node. Okay, I'll select on nodes. Okay, now I'll select node 2. I will just say okay. Okay, now I need to apply the force, direction of force or moment. In which direction we need to apply? We need to apply in vertical direction, that is Fy. Obviously, it will be a constant value. And what is that value? It is 150, but it is in downward. So it is minus 150, right? It is 150, it is in downward, but it is minus 150, right? So it becomes minus 150. And it is in kilonewton. We need to make it in Newton. So we need to multiply by 10 raised to power 3. Is it okay? Let me know. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay or not? Let me know. 150 E3. Is it okay? So I'll just say okay now. Okay, so you can see this force, it is applied. You can see this force which is applied, right? Now see all of you just see this one, right? So see, we have applied the force, right? So I'll just minimize that option. I'll just minimize the option of force or moment, right? I will minimize this structural. Okay, I'll minimize apply. I'll minimize this define the loads and loads, right? So everything I have entered now, right? Everything you can see in the problem, everything we have entered now, right? So now this is a time where we should solve the problem, right? Right. So we'll go to solution, right? I'll go to click on solve and I will click on current LS. Okay. I'll solve and I'll just say current LS and I will say okay. I'll say okay. Right. So you can see this message, solution is done. Can you see this message? Solution is done. Right. So just close it. I'll just close it. Right. That means the problem has been solved. Now I should get the answers now, right? I should get the answers now. Okay, so we will get the answers in general post-proc, right? So see, if you want to see the answers in terms of diagrams or all that, we need to go for plot results, right? In terms of diagrams, in terms of graphics, you need to see, we need to go for plot the results. So I'll just select this plot results. Okay, I'll just select this plot results. Okay, now see, I'm interested to get the deform shape. Okay, I'm just interested to get the deform shape. Okay, so here you can have option, like you can have deform shape only. If you say select the deform shape only, okay, I'll say okay. I'll just say okay. Okay, so this is the deform shape. So here you will get only deform shape, right? I will again go to deform shape. I will select deform plus undeform. Okay, so this will give me the deform shape as well as undeformed shape. Okay, so let's see the diagram. Okay, so here you can see this black dotted line. This is the initial shape. You can see this one, black dotted line. This is the initial shape. And after the application of load, we are getting this blue line. We're getting this blue line. Can you see this one? Can you see this one? All of you. Can you see? Can you see all of you? Yeah, I want continuous feedback from you. I want continuous feedback from you. Can you see this one? This diagram,
Yes, sir.
dotted diagram, it's the initial shape. Okay, and this blue diagram, it's the final shape. Can you see this one? Right. So see, if you clearly see, if you can see clearly, what happens with the node 2 is, can you see this node 2? Node 2 was initially here. Okay, let me annotate it. Okay. Okay, see here. See here. Node 2 was initially here. Okay. Now what happens is node 2 is got shifted here now. See here. Node 2 got shifted here now. Can you see? Node 2 now got shifted here. Is it okay? Yes or no? Similarly, see, node 3 was here initially. See, node 3 was here initially. Node 3 was here initially, right? Now it got shifted here now. Can you see it? Can you see it? Now all of you, can you see it? See, node 2 was initially here. Now it got shifted here. That is 2 dash. Node 3 was initially here and node 3 now got shifted here. That is 3 dash, right? So you can clearly see node 2 has got displacement in vertical direction. You can see it got displaced in vertical as well as in horizontal direction. You can see this one. Node 2 got displaced in vertical as well as horizontal direction. If you can see about node 3, as you have provided the roller, okay, node 3 doesn't have the displacement in y direction, right? Because you have roller. Roller can't move in y direction. But node 3 has the displacement in horizontal direction. Okay, you can see this one, right? So you have displacement at node 2 in x and y and displacement at node 3 in x direction, right? You have that displacement in x direction. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is it okay to each of you? Is it okay to each of you? Let me know. Right? Now see, what are the diagram that you have seen? Okay, now let's see for deform shape. Deform plus underage. Let's see this diagram. So this is deform plus underage diagram, right? Okay, but see, what are the diagram that you have that you have it for 1D, right? If you want to capture the image for this one, you can go for plot control. You can capture the image, right? You can capture the image. See what I done. I just go on to plot control. I just click on capture the image. Okay, so this image gets captured and wherever I want, I can save it, right? I will go to file. I'll go to save as, and in whichever the folder the file I want, I can save it, right? So this is all about 1D, right? If you want to see the 3D shape, right, we need to go for plot control. We need to go for plot control. We will go to style. We'll go to size and shape, right? I'll just tick it, right? When I tick it, because it is a display of element, when I will tick it, it becomes on. All right. Now I will say okay. Okay, so I can see this 3D shape. I can see this 3D shape. Right? Now see, some of you have asked me one question. If 150 kilonewton force will be in upward direction, positive, will the roller have displacement in y direction? No. Why it will have a roller in y direction? See what it is saying. If the 150 kilonewton it is in upward direction, do the roller will have displacement in y direction? See, what happens is, see, whether you apply the load in either in x direction or in y direction at any node, okay, but the roller is going to remain roller only, right? It can't move in y direction. If you talk about fixed support, the fixed support will remain in fixed support only. It can't move in any direction, right? So similar case is with the roller. So see, the direction in which the roller will move, it will not depend upon the direction in which you are applying the force, right? The direction in which the roller will move, it will not depends upon the direction in which you are applying the force. Is it okay or not? Okay, so I hope this, because I got the message, it's understood. So I hope this query has been resolved. Now come back to this problem. So this is the shape which you get in the 3D, right? So if you want the isometric view, you can see in this panel, which is on the right hand side, you have the option of isometric view. Just click that option. So you can see this isometric view, right? So similarly, if you want to capture the image, go to plot control, right? Just click on a capture image, you can capture it. And wherever you want, you can save it, right? Go to file, go to save as, and just save it, right? Is it okay? So this is see, whatever the thing that you have done it for 1D, you can do it for 2D. Sorry, for 3D, right? So go to deform shape. I'll click on deform shape only. So it will give me only the deform shape. Okay. When I click on deform plus undeform, it will give me the deform plus undeform shape. If I click on this deform plus underage, it will give me deform plus underage. This is for 3D, right? Now see, now if I need to see the diagram for the displacement, I'm talking about the diagram. I'm talking about the variation in the displacement. Okay. I'm not talking about the numerical values at the nodes. Okay. So let's see. Just go to counterplot. Okay. Because counterplot will give you the values of displacements. So whatever the things they're at the nodes, and if you want to see the diagram, okay, for that particular node, for those nodes, we need to go for counterplot. So I'll go to counterplot. I'll go to nodal solution. Okay, I'll go to DOP solution. Okay, see, now I will go to DOP solution. See, displacement, it is nothing but degree of freedom. See, what is the meaning of this degree of freedom? It's this, see, displacement, it is nothing but a degree of freedom. That's why I'm going to DOF. What is nodal solution? Displacement, you will get it at the nodes. So that is nothing but a nodal solution. So in nodal solution, I am going for the degree of freedom. That is displacement, right? Now see, I have the displacement in X direction as well as in Y direction, right? So I will select this displacement vector sum, right? Because I have in X, I have in Y also. So instead of selecting separately for X, separately for Y, just select this displacement vector sum, right? So because it will conclude because it will include X, Y, and Z also, right? So I'll say okay. So you can see this diagram. Can you see this diagram, all of you? All of you, can you see this diagram? So, yes. So let me see this in front of you, right? Can you see this diagram, all of you? Can you see this diagram? Yes. All of you, can you see this diagram? Now see, all of you see this one, right? See, if you can see the displacement, displacement, it is increasing, displacement, it is increasing 0, 0 to its maximum value. You can see this maximum value. See, this is a minimum value, which is 0, right? This is the minimum value, which is 0. Okay. Similarly, this is the maximum value, right? This is 0.338 into 10 to the power minus 3. You can see this value, 0.338 into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is the maximum value, right? So see, 0 value you have where you have blue region. Okay. So displacement, it is increasing from blue region, right? Gradually towards green region, to yellow region, and to red region, right? So at red region, you have maximum value of displacement, right? So you can see the blue region where displacement is 0. So you can see this region. So in this region, we have provided the fixed support. So obviously the fixed support cannot move in any direction. So obviously the displacement is 0 in that region, in this region. So obviously it is indicated by blue region, right? Now see where you have this red region, Okay, if you can see the node 2 is a free node where you have applied the force, right? So point where you have applied the force, in that region you are getting the maximum displacement. You can see here, you can get a maximum displacement, that is red region, which is indicated by this 0.338 into 10 to the power minus 3. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. And in some other region, you have moderate values from blue region to green to yellow. These values you have, right? Similarly, if you want to capture the image, you go to plot control and capture the image for this one also, right? Just capture the image for this one also. Is it okay? Is it okay to each of you?
Yes.
Right? So we have captured the image, right? So I'll minimize this counter plot. I'll minimize the option of plot the results, right? Now I should get the answers in terms of some numerical value for the nodes. Okay. So for that, I need to go to list result. See here, I am going to list result, right? I'll go to nodal solution, because see, whatever the things that I want, I want that at the node. I want displacement at node. I want reaction at the node, right? So I need to go to nodal solution. Okay. So in nodal solution, again, I will select nodal solution. Okay. So displacement, it is nothing but degree of freedom. So I will select this degree of freedom. Now see all of you, I can get the displacement in X as well as I will get it in Y. Okay. So instead of selecting separately X and separately Y, I will select this displacement vector sum, because it will give me a value, okay, in X as well as in Y as well as in Z direction, right? So I'll just select that. I will just say okay, right? So this table will come, right? So all of you just see this value. See, node 1 is fixed in all direction. Okay. So obviously it is 0. Node 1 cannot move in any direction. So obviously it is constrained to 0 value. See, this is not the answer which we are getting. This we have only made. See, what we have made? We have made a displacement at node 1 in all direction to be equal to 0. So this is the input which we have entered, right? See, let me tell you. Okay, so see this one. Can you see this value? All of you, just see this. See this input we have entered. See, this input is been given by us only. This is not the answer which is been given by the ANSYS. This we entered. Now see, similarly, see, node number 3 cannot move in Y direction. Can you see this? So this also been given by us only. This is also been given by us only. Node 3 cannot move in Y direction because it's a roller. Okay. So what ANSYS we are getting here is, can you see this? Can you see this value? All of you, can you see this value? See, you just see this one, U2. See this. What is this? Displacement at node 2 in X direction. See here. Displacement at node 2 in X direction. See this value. Similarly, this is displacement. See, I'll just clear it. Okay. Can you see this value? Displacement at a node 2 in X direction. Similarly, this is displacement at node 3 in Y direction. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? See here these values. See this value. This value, if you can see, this is displacement at node 2 in X. Okay. Then this is minus sign. It is coming with the minus sign. So this is displacement at node 3 in Y direction. This is coming with the minus sign. And this is displacement at node 3 in X direction. Okay. So these are the three values which we have got. Is it okay? Okay. So you can save it. You can save, go to file and save as. You can save it wherever you want. Right? Is it okay with this one? Let me know. Is it okay with this one?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now see, we have displacement. Next thing we need to action, because the points or nodes where a displacement is 0. See, the nodes where displacement is 0, at that particular node, you will get a reaction. So see, node 1 is fixed. Obviously, you will get the reaction at node 1. Similarly, node 3 is fixed in vertical direction. So you will get the reaction at node 3 in vertical direction. So let's check that. So can you see the option of reaction solute? Can you see this reaction solute? So I'll go to reaction solute. So see, I have the forces. Okay, so I have the reactions in all the directions. I have in X, I have in Y. Okay, so I will select all structural forces F because I have the reaction only in terms of forces. See, if you select this all atoms, what happens is it will include all forces, movements, everything that I don't want because I have only the forces. So I will include this all struct force F. Okay, so when I select and when I say okay, this will come. This will come. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now see, all of you, you just see how much force you have applied at node 2. Can you see this one? How much force you have applied at node 2? 150 kilonewton, minus 150 kilonewton, right? Yes or no? Minus 150 kilonewton you applied. Minus 150 kilonewton you applied. Okay, now check it. What answer you are getting here? What answer you are getting here? See here. Okay, let me do some annotation. Okay, see here. All of you see. At node 1, how much force you are getting here? At node 1, how much force you are getting here? See here. At node 1, how much force you are getting here? 75,000, right? 75,000. Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is it okay or not? See, this is node. This is node. Node number 1. Okay. This is your force. This is your force, right? At node number 1, what reaction you are getting? 75,000, right? At node number 2, how much force you applied? At node number 2, how much force you applied? Minus 150,000, nah? Yes or no? Let me know, is it okay or not? And at node number 3, how much reaction you are getting? See here, all of you, 75,000, right? So if you take the summation of these, okay, if you take the summation of these, okay, what summation you are getting here? Tell me, what summation value you will get? 0. Say yes or no? Let me know, is it okay or not? What summation value you are getting here? It's a 0. See, because whatever minus 150,000 force, minus 150,000 force, which you have applied at node 2, it is balanced. It is balanced at node 1 as 75,000 and at node 3 as 75,000. So your summation, it is tending to 0. Yes or no? Is it understood? Is it understood or not? Let me know.
Yes.
Okay. Clear, na? See here, all of you. See, here you applied the force, right? Let me draw it again. Okay. See here. Here, how much you applied? Here, how much you applied? Okay, what value you applied? Minus 150, right? Minus 150,000 you applied, right? Is it okay? Minus 150,000. I doesn't need to write down minus 150,000 because it is going downward. It indicates that it is minus 150,000. Okay. So in order to balance this 150, how much reaction it is generated? Tell me how much reaction it is generated. Tell me how much reaction it is generated. Here, na? Some reaction it is generated here, right? Some reaction it is generated here. So how much it is generated? See here. See, let things becomes more very clear. This is 75,000 here, okay, and again 75,000 here. Okay. So yes or no? Let me know. Is it okay or not? Is it okay to everyone or not? Is it okay to each of you? Let me know. Is it okay to each of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see here, all of you. So this is the reaction which we have got. That means, see, what does means your summation it is tending 0. That means we are getting a correct answer provided that you have correctly entered the data. You have correctly entered the data, right? So this is all about the reactions, right? Now, if you want to see the animation, right? If you want to see the animation, we need to go to plot control, right? We'll go to animate, right? We'll go to deform results. We'll go to deform results. Now see, we need to see the animation for displacement, right? So this is a DOF solution. DOF, degree of freedom, and displacement, it is nothing but degree of freedom. Okay. Now you have translation in X as well as translation in Y. So better is to select U sum, because if you select UX, it will only show the translation in X. This will show you the translation in Y. If you select this U sum, it will show you the both. Okay. So I'll say okay. I'll just say no. Okay. Is it okay with this one? Let me know. Okay. Okay, so I'll just stop it, just close it, and just see that animation, okay, in the isometric view. Just see that animation in the isometric. You can see this one. Can you see this? All of you, can you see this one? See, just see that roller. Just see that roller. It is moving only in X. Okay, the node 3 is moving only in X. But if you can see node 2, it is moving in X and Y also, right? What is about node 1? It is fixed. What is about node 1? It is fixed.
Sir, cross section में change होएगा क्या? मतलब सिर्फ पूछ रहा हूँ.
What?
Cross section में change होएगा क्या? Like bar जो होता था.
Cross section will not change, because see what we are assuming that, see, what are the members of the truss we have? They are rigid. They doesn't undergo. They will not undergo deformation. Okay, but or whatever the deformation it is there, it will be within an elastic limit. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Right. So have you understood this one? Each of you have understood? Is it okay with this one? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how we have performed this practical, and then the practical which you have performed, it is analysis of truss. Okay.